So here are two of my independent study project, and I'll be showing a brief tutorial on how to use Adobe CS6. So this is Adobe CS6, and over here we have a toolbar. Right here is the lasso tool, which you can use to select things, and then you can move them around, delete them. So that's always useful. Here is the paintbrush tool, which you use to draw, color, line art. And I mentioned before how a tablet is a vital part of using Adobe Photoshop. That's because you have pen pressure when you use a tablet, just like if you were using a real pen and paper. You press lightly, the brush isn't very thick, but if you press hard, then you get a very thick line, and then you can obviously taper. As opposed to when you have a mouse, just one pressure and you get that ugly, nasty line. Here's the eraser, which obviously erases, and the pen tool, which is used for long lines that you don't really feel like trying to keep a steady hand. You just want to look nice and straight and even. So you can add anchor points, which is where you pull it. You can do all sorts of things with it, and just a nice smooth line. So then you stroke path and delete path. So then you have a nice even line. So over here you have all your layers, which layers seem complicated, but they're really not as complicated as you might think. Think of it as layers of a cake. You have the bottom portion, and then the icing, and then the things on top. Nothing well, it overlaps, but nothing is really mixed together, which is the whole point of layers. So I pulled up line art here, yes, my little pony, and I'll demonstrate kind of how layers work. So here's a layer underneath the line art layer, which is this one right here. As you can see, whenever I draw on it, I go over the line art and it looks ugly and you can't see the line art, and there's no purpose in that. So you can go make a layer underneath it, and now you can draw underneath the layers. So you can still see everything, you can stay in the lines, and it doesn't look all ugly. You can hide layers, which is what this eye is for. You can lock them so nothing goes out. See, I'm drawing inside the line art, but nothing is going out, so I can change it into a different color. You can also set modes for the line art, which I'll demonstrate here. Let's see. Alright, so normal is like if you were doing something on MS Paint. I use multiply a lot, which is the effect you would get if you were painting on a canvas and you were layering colors. So as you can see, here's the gray that I'm using. I can go over this and shade it. And this is a lot of what I use for shading and everything, and I use all these different brush options for that. Like this one fades, so you can get a really nice fadey texture. So if I wanted to shader main, I could just do that. And there are also many other different kinds, like screen, just kind of whitens it, makes it really light, and these colors aren't very good for this, but there are a lot of different effects, and you can that help you achieve a lot of different things. There are other fine details, but that would take far too long to explain. But that's pretty much, well, Adobe Photoshop can do a lot of other things, but for the basic stuff, which is a lot of what I do, these are the tools I use, and it's a little quick tutorial on how I do things. So on to part 3.